Today, we are launching our financial fire drill challenge. So, this is definitely something that will be available for you whenever you want to pop in. If you can't have a lot of time today, you can come back later today and come back tomorrow. And I encourage you to invite your friends and family because it's going to be life changing, especially if you ever hit that unthinkable. Okay. So, I have my notes because I want to make sure that we cover what we need to cover today. And every day this week, Monday through Friday, we are going to be diving into a different aspect of this. Okay, so today we're going to kick off exactly what is a financial fire drill and why do we need to do one. Okay, so I have my handy notes here because again, I want to make sure that we stay on track. And we get everything through this because this is so important and I don't want to miss I don't want you guys to miss a piece of it. All right. So the point of a financial fire drill is to make sure your family is prepared for an emergency. This can be a financial emergency or it can be another type of emergency. Because whether your emergency is purely financial or not, we don't need the money to compound the issues. And I'll get into more of that later, but I'm sure you can imagine the times where something's been going wrong, whether it's health or family related or in the home. And then you also have the added stress of money, and we want to eliminate all of that. Okay. So we don't need money to compound those issues. All right. So this 5-day challenge will walk you through not only how to run a financial fire drill in your own home, but provide you with the steps to prepare everything that you need. So I'm not just going to tell you how to do it. We're going to give you step by steps of all the different pieces that are put together. Because I could tell you, and we're going to get to this a little bit today, of basically how the overview, how it's run, what it looks like. For the rest of the week, we're going to work on preparing to make sure we have everything in place to run that and run that well. Okay. Next, all right, all right, I'm getting some tech issues, so just hold on one second. So let's make sure that this is working. Um, yeah, okay, sorry about that. All right, so we're going to get through this. We're going to do an overview today, and then we're going to dive into each piece of the pie the rest of this week. All right, if you're watching this, let me know you're watching this and where you're coming from, and we can chat, ask questions, we'll get them answered for you. All right, so the purpose is to get organized and create a plan in case the unthinkable happens. This is one of the best ways that you can show your loved ones that you care for them, is to make sure that we're prepared for that. Okay, so how to actually run one. So I'm going to give you that bird's eye view of how to actually run a financial fire drill today. It's one of those things that is very simple in concept, but as we know, things that are simple are not always easy, right? So basically, you start by preparing, which is what we're going to focus on the rest of this week. But the key after that, after we've got all of those pieces prepared, is to make sure that those who need it, our loved ones, have access to all of the information, right? We want to make sure it's organized, legible, understandable, right? We need to make sure all these key pieces are in place for them because if we gather up all the stuff and they can't make heads or tails of it, then it's not helpful at all. All right. So they also need to understand, like I said. Now, running a financial drill can happen one of two ways. Actually, it's more than that ways, but in general, there's two ways, and that is in your home. You can either step back, hands off for a full month. And this is what sometimes I recommend for my clients to do is you have one person who's normally in charge of the bills and the insurance and the grocery shopping and like the home manager, the one person who takes main run of home manager will either step back and hands off, or if you guys have shared responsibilities, you flip flop responsibilities. So maybe one person only pays the bills, one person does the grocery shopping, the errands, and the appointment setting, because that's all of this, right? So what happens if one of you are not there? If one of you are in the hospital, if one of you have to leave to take care of a loved one, if one of you have to step out of the picture or unable to do what you normally do, can the other person step in easily without added stress? Okay, that's what we're looking for here. All right, so hands off. Only ask if helps because we want to make sure that they learn the process. So we're there to help if needed, but let them do it. All right, and here's a key: it doesn't have to be done exactly the way you do it. All right, but it has to get done, right? So they need to understand what's going on. They need to be able to do it. They should be able to pick up where you left off without the added stress. If you were just starting, this could be accomplished by asking them to find certain important information. So it could be like a pop quiz. All right, pop quiz, hubby, log onto our bank account and show me our budget. Or, where do you find the numbers for the insurance company? or I want you to do the insurance audit this month. Just give them a task, ask them to find something, ask them to complete a task. And then that is one way of doing kind of baby stepping it in, especially if your partner or your spouse, or it could be a child or a parent, whoever that person is for you, is very new at this. And this is a baby step in for you. Walk with them, show them where it is. So we have the hands-off version, and then we have the walk with them version. You're giving them a task or giving them like a quiz, pop quiz. Where is this at? How to find this? And just make sure you're keeping that fresh for them. Okay. All right. Another way to do this is have them work with you every week while you complete a basic task, making sure to cover things. So for 1 month, so you pick a time, maybe have it this month, and then once a week they're with you doing all your tasks. So they're either shadowing you, so they kind of see the overview of everything. However you do it, a monthly, whether it's a weekly or a monthly thing, but they're watching you and you explain everything and they ask questions. And you don't have to do this year round. This can just be during the fire drill, right? All right. Let's see. Now, for those of you that are already married, if you're having my recommended, what I call money dates already, then you already have a lot of this stuff in place. But there's always going to be things that aren't covered in the weekly money meeting. There's going to be things that need to be looked at from an emergency standpoint. There's going to be information that needs to be gathered in an organized fashion. And that's going to be handled here also. And we'll dive into more of that this week. But if you're already having regular money dates with your spouse, you may feel like you already know everything. And that may be true. But just remember that knowing it and doing it are two different things. So in your case, our financial fire drill would be, again, flipping those roles. Okay. So now the person who normally looks over the budget is now creating the budget. The person who actually pays the bills, writes the checks, goes online, does a lot, is handing it over for the other person. We just want to make sure that these roles can be reversed if need be, and that they can find everything. All right. Also, running through the financial fire drill will prepare you for all kinds of emergencies, because we also are talking about setting up the tools that you will need in a moment's notice. Okay. This is, our infamous, emergency binder. This is our budget. This is our emergency fund. And all of this will be covered later on this week. We'll be hitting all of those things just to make sure that we are prepared to do the financial fire drill. Because if you're not organized and you try to bring in your spouse or your mother or your child and show them everything, they're going to drown. They're going to get lost. So we want to make sure that we're organized and that we have all the pieces together before we run that fire drill. Okay. So when to run one? I recommend at least once a year. That can be in February because you're showing them that you love them. It could be in January because it's a fresh start of the new year. It can be when you do your taxes. It can be anytime. All I want you to do is put it on the calendar and do it. Okay, so schedule it. So whenever you do it, if you're watching this and saying, okay, I'm going to get my stuff together and we're going to do one in March. That's awesome. Put it on your calendar for next March. Don't let it go by. Every year it'll get easier and quicker, but we want to get in the habit of doing that. And I have some people that, if you have one person who does the majority of everything as a household manager, then maybe you want to do it twice a year just so that other person doesn't get out of touch, or institute the habit of, those money dates that we talked about. Okay. The important thing is making sure that you get it on the calendar and that you do it. So each day this week, as we run through this challenge, we'll be touching on an important step or part of the plan to help you getting prepared for that. And this is how the challenge is going to run this week. And then this will wrap it up for today. Each day we'll have a video topic, just like I'm doing now, that will go live. We'll be talking about a certain aspect or topic of the financial fire drill, how to prepare it for it, being prepared for it. And then in my group, Healthy Homes, in my group, Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise, a faith-based journey to do more, give more, and serve more. That will be where you're going to go and find a post that will have tasks or a task. It will have the resources if you need one. It'll have like a checklist or, anything that you'll need will be in that post. If there's links or resources available that day, but also written out task. Today, you're going to do this. Today, you're going to print this. You're going to gather this. You're going to, talk to your spouse about this. Whatever that task is for the day, that will be in the post. And that is in my group. So if you're not in there, it's free group, hop in there. The link is above or below, depending on where you're watching this. It's around here somewhere. But it's Healthy Homes. Sorry, I keep saying that. That's on my website. It is Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise, a faith-based journey to do more, give more, and serve more. All the posts will be in there. Now, if you're watching this after the fact, after the date, you will go to the guide section, and there'll be a guide in the Facebook group that says Financial fire drill challenge. And then you will see the video and a post and a video and a post. And you'll see all those resources there for you. So you can come back, you can bring your spouse back, you can share with your friends and family. It's my prayer that everyone will be prepared. I know, oh my gosh, in recent history, like in the past year or so since COVID, as of recording this, I've known three families have had had their home burned down. I have not parents. I've had people that I know who have had unexpected deaths in their family. I think we all have that, right? We all know someone who've not experienced that, especially since COVID. And we have people who have unexpected medical diagnosis where they need to go to and stay at a hospital, and then their family still needs to survive and move. Like lots of these situations have happened. Again, this is for the unthinkable, medical emergencies, family emergencies, a death in the family. And I want to make sure you're prepared for all of that. Okay. So that's all I have for you for today. Pop on tomorrow for day two, and I will see you.